Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So you might be wondering, Natalie, where are you sitting on the floor? And that is because I'm sitting next to my TBR shelf because for today's video, we are going to be picking 3 books off of my TBR and I'm going to be doing a reading vlog with them. But the little twist on this is I'm not going to be picking them. Well, I am, but we're going to be having a random emoji generator pick them. So I saw Sarah do this and I've seen a couple other people do this and I thought it was a fun idea to pick something off of your TBR. So basically what I have here is a random emoji generator, just a random one that I found online. And you just click randomize and then it pulls up some random emoji off of the emoji keyboard, and I'm going to try and find a book that correlates with that somehow. I don't know how well this is going to work. We might have to do a couple to find something that correlates, but yeah, I'm going to try my best. So let me screen record my phone. So this is the website and we're going to hit randomize. Okay, so it looks like it's 2 people and then a little baby maybe. So let's see, do I have anything that's like parents maybe? I'm trying to see if I have any where it's like they have a kid, like if there's like a single parent trope. Okay, I'm not finding any that are fitting well with that, so I'm gonna randomize again and see if we get something a little bit better. This is unfortunately the struggle with this, is it might take a minute. Okay, we've got some hands going like this. I don't know what that means. I also might resort to the color of the emoji and correlate it with the cover if I can't find anything. You know what? I've been wanting to read this book for a very long time and it's yellow and it's almost the exact same yellow as the hands on the emoji. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick 7 Year Slip. This is kind of cheating, guys, but like I really don't know how else to do this unless I get like a super obvious emoji. Like when I saw Sarah do this, she got a hockey puck, so she obviously did a hockey romance. So we're gonna go ahead and start the 7 Year Slip. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to read this for a very long time. This has been on my TBR for a while. Well, not my physical TBR, I recently bought it, but it's been on my want to read for a while. So this is the book, the first book that we are going to start for this vlog. And I haven't really read much. I'm only on page 10, but there is already stuff in this book that I'm like wanting to underline that I'm really enjoying. Like some of these quotes literally on the first page, literally one of the first paragraphs I'm already like obsessed with. So basically this is about Clementine and she is moving into, or has just moved into, her aunt's apartment. I'm assuming the aunt passed away. I haven't gotten to that part yet, but she says, my aunt used to say, if you don't fit in, fool everyone until you do. She also said to keep your passport renewed, to pair red wines with meats and whites with everything else, to find work that is fulfilling to your heart as well as your head, and to never forget to fall in love whenever you can find it, because love is nothing if not a matter of timing, and to chase the moon. Always, always chase the moon. That is like the first paragraph of this book, other than like the prologue, but that is like, I was already like, okay, I'm hooked. Like I'm obsessed with this writing. So yeah, I'm just like, I just loved that part and I was like, all right, I'm hooked. So gonna sit here now for most of the evening and read. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how it's going. Literally, I don't really know anything so far. I'm only on page 10, so can't even really give a synopsis yet, but I'll update you guys in a little bit. I read some more today and I am officially 82 pages into the 7 Year Slip. I'm on chapter 9, and so I feel like I have a better grasp of the plot now. So basically this is about Clementine, and she works as a book publisher, and her aunt recently passed away, and she was super close with her aunt, and she moves into her aunt's old apartment in New York City. And her aunt always told her that this apartment was magical and how like you would occasionally slip 7 years in the past in this apartment. And so one day Clementine walks into the apartment and she's 7 years in the past, and there's a random man in her apartment, and she obviously freaks out. And then she realizes that this man was told by her aunt that he could live there for the summer. And she's like, oh my God, this was 7 years ago when my aunt was still alive. And so now there's this man in her apartment, Ewan, I think is how you say his name. It's Iwan. I think it's Ewan. Like Ewan? I'm not sure. I literally tried to look it up and I was getting contradicting pronunciation, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's Ewan. We're gonna stick with that. That's pretty much where I'm at. They kind of like are striking up a little bit of a friendship, I guess. I'm not really sure where it's gonna go, but I'm really liking it so far. I'm liking the writing. I also like the little bit of a magical element. I feel like I typically either read romance or fantasy romance, and this is kind of like an in-between. Like, it's not a full fantasy world. Like, everything else is still normal outside of the apartment. The only fantasy or magical element is when she's in the apartment, which I find kind of interesting. I already have a little bit of a theory or a suspicion of what is going to happen. We'll see if I'm right on that, but I am going to keep reading. Honestly, I feel like I might finish it tonight. It's relatively short. It's only like 320 pages, and the writing is pretty fast paced, so I feel like there's a chance that I can finish it tonight, but we'll see. The 7-year slip like just a few minutes ago. I almost finished it last night, and then it was like 11:30 and I could barely keep my eyes open, so I went to bed and then I just finished it this morning. And I liked it. It was really good. There were a lot of really good quotes. I think there were a lot of really good messages. The romance was very sweet. I think the only thing that kind of would take me out of it at times was the two different timelines. So obviously you have when she's in the apartment and it goes 7 years in the past. And then you also have the present day, and the timelines are a little conflicting at points and it would get a little confusing. And I think that just kind of took me out of it a little bit, and I was thinking too much about that, and as opposed to just like enjoying in the moment what was happening. I still liked it a lot. I think I would give it like a 4-star. Like I said, it was still really good. The romance was very sweet. There were a lot of quotes that I really loved, a lot of stuff that I underlined. And yeah, so very excited that I finally read this, because this has been a book I've been wanting to read for a very long time. But it is now time to pick our next book of this vlog. So pulling back up my emoji generator. Hopefully we get one on the first chance that fits with one of these books and I don't have to like do it multiple times, but we will see. And randomize. Okay, we have a moon. Guys, I literally have a book that has moon in the title, so this has to be the one that we read. That was so easy, oh my god. So the next book that we are going to be reading for this vlog is Hang the Moon by Jeanette Walls. This is what my mom actually gave me. I had gotten her for her birthday or Christmas or something last year a book of the month like subscription, and whenever she was done with the books she would give them to me. So this is one that she had and she's done with. I actually have read a book by Jeanette Walls back in high school. I read, was it called The Glass Castle, I think? Yes, it was called The Glass Castle, and I vividly remember reading this book my sophomore year English class, and I loved it. Like, and that was a time in my life where I didn't love reading as much. Like, I just felt like I was reading because I was forced to, because of school and English class and whatever. But I remember loving that book so much. So I'm very excited to get into this. The Glass Castle is a memoir. I don't think this is a memoir. Yes, this is a historical fiction. It takes place in the early 1900s, I believe. In Virginia. So interested to start this. I am actually going on a little day trip with my friends today, so I don't know that I'll a ton of time to read today. I'm gonna try and read a little bit before we leave, but if I don't get around to it, I will talk to you guys once I've like read some more and gotten a little bit more into the book and understand what's happening. But yeah, I'm interested to read this, excited to see if I enjoy this book like I enjoyed The Glass Castle. So we'll see how it goes. Chapter 16 of Hang the Moon, and I actually started listening to it on audiobook last night. I found out that it's on the Spotify like free audiobooks, and I started listening to it there because, gonna be honest, I was getting a little bored reading it. I don't know like how to describe it. Like, the story is not bad. I just think that this sort of historical fiction isn't necessarily my favorite. It takes place in Prohibition era, in like Virginia, I think is where they're at, I want to say. And I don't know, I just don't typically read historical fiction from that era. Typically the historical fiction books that I like are like World War II. I don't know why, I just have like a fascination with that era and everything. So this is different than what I'm used to. I do want to give it a chance though and continue. I'm only about, I don't know where exactly I'm at in the book because I'm listening to it on audiobook, but I will say that audiobook is definitely helping. I'm on like page 120 something, somewhere in there. And there's about 350 pages in the book, I want to say, or 330, something like that. So I'm almost halfway through and I do really want to give it a chance. I am going to continue listening to it on like my way to work and stuff, and try and listen to it throughout the day. I feel like that is going to help. But yeah, reading it, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little bored, but the audiobook is like better, I want to say. The lighting's a little funky, I'm sorry. I'm trying to use the lighting from like my bathroom and my closet because it's very overcast out. But I just finished Hang the Moon a little bit ago. I actually ended up finishing the rest of the book on audiobook. I just feel like it was easier for me to get through. The rating I ended up going with was a 2.5, and I was kind of debating between a 2.5 and a 3. There were times where I feel like it could have been a 3, but I think overall it just ended up being a 2.5, especially because there were times where I was kind of bored or I would zone out. It didn't quite feel like it lived up to other books that I've put as a 3-star, and that's why I feel like ratings can be so hard too, because then you start comparing them to like other books, and anyways, that's a whole other topic. But I don't know that I really mentioned too much of what this book was about, but basically this is about a girl named Sally, and she grew up in the Prohibition era in like, I want to say they're in Virginia or something, but like very, very small town. And it was during a time when obviously it was Prohibition, but a lot of people were illegally making alcohol, and her dad was kind of like the main man of the city. I don't even know if he was like a mayor or what, but he was kind of like the guy basically, and knew that all this illegal stuff was going on, but like this was the way that these small town people were making money, so he was just letting it slide. And then it kind of just unfolds over the next several years of just all these crazy things. And I feel like there was so much that happened. It was like rapid fire succession of events of like, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. Then like, I was waiting for like the big aha moment, or to be like, oh, okay, I understand. And I just feel like we never got there. And even on the last chapter, I was like, this is it? Like, this is how it ends? Like, I don't know, I feel like I was just waiting for more, and I was waiting for like this big like overarching point and to the plot, and I just feel like there wasn't really one. Also, I feel like none of the characters really had any like emotional depth other than the narrator, Sally. And I did like her character, but I just feel like all the other characters were very surface level, and there were so many characters that would keep popping up that it was hard to like I don't know how you could have made each character have emotional depth when you have that many. So I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If you're somebody that really enjoys historical fiction, then you might like it, but it's not one that I'm probably going to continue to think about or recommend in the future. But if it sounds interesting to you and it's something that you would, you know, enjoy reading, definitely recommend it. But for me personally, it just wasn't my favorite. So we are now finally going to be picking our third and final book of this video. So I'm going to pull up my little emoji generator again, and we are going to see what we get. Hopefully, like last time, we can just do one emoji and get it, but if we have to do multiple, we'll see. So we're going to randomize. Okay, it's like a sun with a cloud and rain. I'm looking at the covers too to see if like any of them have that on the cover. I think we might have to try another one. If I try another one and I still can't find anything, then maybe we'll go Done and Dusted, because it does have a cloud on the cover. But I'm gonna try again and just see if I can't get something that correlates better to a different book. So we'll randomize again. A Ferris wheel. Now, why does that feel like I have something with a Ferris wheel on it? I think this was gonna be so hard. Okay, I really want to try one more time because I do really want to get one that like correlates really well. So I'm going to try one more, and I keep saying that, but I'll probably keep trying until we get one that really correlates, because I really want one that's like a good one, you know? Okay, a hat with a green bow. I feel like we can find something. Is anybody wearing a hat? I also don't have that many options to choose from. I mean, I do have a lot. There's a lot on my physical TBR, but I just mean like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many options. Okay, the only one that I have that has a hat on the cover is I have both Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled, and I feel like since I was going to do Done and Dusted for the cloud and he's wearing a hat, it's not the same type of hat as the other one, but I genuinely, there's no other hats on any of these books. So we're gonna go with Done and Dusted, which I'm very excited for. I have heard such good things about the series. I love a cowboy romance. Like after Chestnut Springs, like I am so into a cowboy romance. So I am going to read Done and Dusted as our third and final book for this video. So it's been like a full day since I've updated you on reading Done and Dusted. I'm currently on page 110. I didn't have a ton of time to read it yesterday, so I didn't get too far into it, but hoping to maybe finish it today. It's a very fast-paced book. The pages are relatively small. The words are like pretty big on each page, so I feel like I'm getting through it really fast. It's also not a very long book. It's like 300 pages or something, I think. Just over 300 pages. So far I'm really liking it. I just love a cowboy romance. I don't know why. Something about being in that world. Obviously I love Chestnut Springs so much, and like it just reminds me of being back in that world. And yeah, so this is about Emmy, and she moves back to her small town in Wyoming. Her family works on a ranch, the Rebel Blue Ranch, which is what the series is called. And she runs into her older brother's best friend, Luke. And she never really liked him growing up, and just like kind of like had this little bit of like jab at each other. But she had an accident. She's a horse rider, and she had an accident, and now she's like very nervous to get back on a horse, and he's kind of helping her a little bit, and it's just very sweet. I really like it a lot. That is kind of where we're at, and I don't know, it's very cute. Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. So I'm gonna head to work here soon, try and continue reading, and hopefully finish this today. Last night I ended up finishing Done and Dusted, and I really liked it. It was very fast paced, like I said. Like I got through it really quickly. I think I gave it 3.5 stars just because while it was a cute story, I love the cowboy romance, I love the setting, there wasn't a lot of emotional depth. Like our main character, Emmy, is going through, like, she had an accident on a horse, and she's kind of going through that and like this mental block that she has. And I feel like it was kind of glossed over a little bit. Like they did touch on it, obviously, but I feel like it could have have gone more into it, and we could have gotten more emotional depth out of her. And then for Luke, he had like a troubled family life growing up, and there were parts included about that, but I feel like, again, it was kind of glazed over and there should have been more behind it. There's this part towards the end and I thought like more would come of that, and then they just never mentioned it again. So yeah, I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I'd still recommend it. I still want to read the rest of the series just because I love a cowboy romance. But yeah, I just wish there was more emotional depth and more connection to the characters. These are the 3 books that we read for this vlog. We have The 7-Year Slip, Hang the Moon, and Done and Dusted. I'm very happy to get 3 more books off my physical TBR because that is a goal of mine this year, is to not let my physical TBR get too out of control, and especially books like Hang the Moon that have been on there for a little while. I'm trying to get through those books and not let things sit on my TBR for a really long time. So I had a lot of fun doing this video. I feel like it was, you know, a little suspenseful. I didn't know what I was gonna get, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Overall, I liked these 2. I liked these 2. This one, not as much, but it was still a fun video to film. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to let me know down below, and maybe I'll do another video like this in the future. Or if you have any other video ideas to get through my TBR, definitely let me know. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.